Weathered brown door. Number reads 20. Tenant motions for you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. It's going to be so hard. Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect? You're right. Let's talk this through. He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit. But for first preliminary identification, in all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Majan. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job, which is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's dead? Just don't say you know how they feel. You don't. Good advice. Alright, I think I'm ready. Knock.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door. Look at the lieutenant first. He gives you a short, encouraging nod. Is this Billy Majan's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
Police? A moment, please. Give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside. There's fear in her
Come
voice.
in. The door is open.
It's her, isn't it? It's gotta be. Who else would it be? It's her. Let her turn the music back on. I did. It hasn't come back yet.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her
I
face.
don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Or tea, lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. Condensation from stepping inside. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is that why he's letting you take the lead? Thanks, but I'm alright. Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up at the station if that's... She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face. Something changes in her expression. No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it? Kim is here. Discuss things with Kim. Lieutenant's handkerchief. Tell her about the dead body. I don't want to. We have to. I don't want to do this. Turn to Kim. It seems like there's a part of me that refuses to do this. Do what? Officer? Lieutenant warns you. Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now. Your husband's dead. Excuse me, what? She blinks. What did you just say? She's in pain. She's in so much pain, and so are you. Your chest is burning. The lieutenant steps in. We're very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Majan, was found dead this morning from the Martinez boardwalk. Oh. She touches her neck. Eyes pale like pearls in seawater. Oh, she says again, but he was just... She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray. He was just here, alive. I understand that this comes as a huge shock, and I want you to know that me and my partner, he points to you, are here for you if you have any questions. We're very sorry for your loss, ma'am. What happened to him? Tell me. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. He fell and smashed his head against the bench. And you just found him there, lying in the cold? She shakes her head. How long has he been there? For a few days, at least. She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears as she struggles to keep it together. You hear the clock ticking in the children's room. Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend? A family member? Someone who could be here for you? No. No, she breathes in. I just need to tell my girls. The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly. Unreal. God, should I call them? Should I call them home? Yes. Alright, I'll call them. She breathes in again, trying to steady herself. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him? Let's see. He's still there on the boardwalk. You haven't even taken him away. There's alarm in her voice. No, we have. He's taken He was taken to the city morgue. A local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier. Hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information. Is there anything else the RCM could do for you? No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit... She rubs her face, blotchy and numb. God, I'm shit at this. Alright, that's it then. Again, if there's anything we can do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am. She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. I'll take it from here. Thank you. She points at the front door, breathing fast now, holding herself back. The lieutenant nods at the woman, then looks back at you, his voice lowered. We should step outside and talk. I bungled everything. This would be... what would have happened if I didn't screw that up?
So, the death notification.
The lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment. He's avoiding your gaze. This time, to say how sorry you are about how things went. I'm sorry, I know I effed up. It's alright, don't worry about it. His eyes wander over the streets. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. What about Billy and her kids? Not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid. They have to. It's not your place to live their lives. That's it? That's it? We should get back to our case. There's nothing more we can do here. Alright, let's try and get back to it then. He looks at you. An officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Let's go. I really have, he thinks. She was strong. She made it easy for us. Honesty might not always be the best policy, but boy, it's a policy I kind of, sort of, try and live by. It's not good. I don't know. I used to make up little white lies about myself when I was younger. I moved around a lot, so it was always kind of nice to embellish. As I've gotten older, I realize, no, actually, my life is just kind of interesting. Or at least relatively interesting that I can talk about it without embellishing anything, and people will still care just about as much. I don't know if I've ever been in that door. I'll check it later. Anyway, let's talk to her. We got... What is Kim doing? Kim, what are you doing? Kim, this is a weird coping mechanism. Why are you doing this?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours? Ooh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. She looks at the paint dripping down the wall. Like me, right now. I'm doing nothing at all. The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now. Really, you're a miner? Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Don't you have a real home? Does anyone in a city like this? She replies wistfully, looking around. Cool. Got other questions. Shoot, Picky. It is what you do, isn't it? Do you have any idea what happened to the hangman's armor? What do I care about some effing tin egg shells? Wait, don't you want to know how I knew to ask you? Not particularly. Her eyes dart across the horizon. I want to keep this as brief as possible. You see, I want to return to painting the world red. Okay, tell me what you do know then. I think you didn't hear me. Why would I care? Isn't armor art? Art for the body? Alright, Piggy, I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Look cute as hell. Could that be the girl... Could that girl have been little Lily? It's not a bad place to start. What a little girl in the village, little Lily. Could have been her. Small kid with giant white armored hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all. There weren't any other small girls in the village. Sorry for invading your personal space like this, but I'm gonna have to take that paintbrush from you, kiddo. And I need an aircraft carrier. So what? Stand your ground and look with a look of weary determination. Cindy, I'm gonna stand here until you give me that paintbrush. She looks at you. You got any kids? Because you sound like the world's saddest dad right now. Fine, take the brush. I'm all out of fuel oil anyway. She drops the paintbrush at your feet. You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Time to get to proper work, artiste. Catch you later, Cindy. Oh, this is the coal room that she sleeps in. Aranye. Oh, it is Aranye. So, Clausier, Aranye. Aranya. Not Aranha. Yeah, shit. Aranye. Or maybe it is Aranya. Yeah? Yeah. God, pronunciation is hard. Maybe... The problem is, like, I see the word go by, and I'm probably have heard it pronounced, like, once. And it's the problem, it's the once that gets me. If it was a couple of times, I could probably get it. Oh well. So here's some loose ends. Here's some artwork. I feel like doing a giant painting is probably a no-go bad thing to do, but you know what? I'm feeding into this character's whimsy. Also, I'm not really sure how much anybody gives a dang. There we go. Let's do this. I'm gonna quick save first. Love you, Kuno, mother of all walls. A 3,500-year-old pictogram of a human being. No. What shadow lies there beneath the bright gleam? Something beautiful is going to happen. Because the first 3 are dumb jokes. 7 is stupid, but funny. 4 and 6 are good. 5 is juvenile. I like 4. Okay, task complete. Add even more beauty to the wall. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city. Very poetic, the lieutenant nods in appreciation. It doesn't sound so sincere. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we're supposed to solve. I'll take it. Okay. And then we're not going to return to it because we should talk to Cunoesse and suss out who she killed.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error, she's not sleeping
Pigs
right
come
now.
to take me out? Trying to snuff me out?
Are you sleeping right now? Don't get effing clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever, she hisses.
Trying to sneak up?
Okay, so we have to approach her from across the fence. I guess it makes sense. It makes her feel safer. Oh, hi. Whoa! What have we here? A bridge? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one. Damn, looks like we got a construction code violation. Lieutenant looks around. True. They've never cleaned out the war damage. The rest of Evershall looks better, though. Lieutenant, think about the splinters. Bridge is fine, though. Locals will use it all the time, after all. There's nothing to worry about. He adjusts his glasses. Shall we? Ugh. I swear I can English kind of some of the most of the time. No, I can't. This is just a thinly veiled masquerade where you all realize that I am significantly less competent in my ability to be a functional human. But, yeah, I mean, what can you do? I haven't really tried talking to her. I don't really feel much need to, but I'll do it anyway. I don't know.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
What are those strange words you use, Geralt?
I come from the woods, Cryptozoology. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing, eh? Get the fuck out of here!
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Hey,
What
kid.
is this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
She puts her finger to her temple.
Get the fuck out of here, face! You got something? Talk to me!
Okay, yeah, so it doesn't look like we can really get much out of Cunoesse.
Cuno saw you wield that can! Sweet graffito action, pig! Cuno likes that delinquent shit!
Yeah, you like art, Cuno? F no, art shit! And takes a step back. Oh yeah, what about your little Locust City then? It's not art, it's effing brutal. Nothing pussy about it. Get the F out of here. Even pigs think it's garbage. Okay, I still don't have enough money. Okay, I bet if I buy the pants, he warms up. 15 bucks is no small amount to this kid. Fortunately, I don't really have a whole lot of items that I could sell. I got some things. Magnetic tape. We've got a couple of things. Queen 8 pen. The thing is, I just make free money just by existing. So, what I should probably do is just keep existing and eventually have money. Okay, so little girl has the armor gloves. Oh, go back to the cryptozoologists. Like, it's weird. I don't know why I want to befriend this child. I think I just feel terrible for him. Again, with the stories of somewhat relevancy from my childhood, I had a number of friends who definitely didn't come from the, like, healthiest home lives. Still do. Like, I had one friend whose dad was a drunk and a smoker, and I could only ever go over to his house when his dad wasn't around. That was always just such a shame, because he was such a good kid. And then I moved away, and I've never seen or talked to him again. Why am I here? Oh, right.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid Cuno. He promised to stop stealing the locusts. The cryptozoologist purses his lips. So it was just a child. He looks crestfallen. Thank you for telling us, sweetie. She turns to smile gently up at her husband. This is good news, right? It means we can try again. Jack's chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something's secretly gnawing at her confidence. This is not... It's not this Cuno kid. Or the missing locust. It's something else. Yes, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. Then maybe we can... Aging cryptozoologist breaks into hideous coughing fit. He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way. She looks at him with tender concern. Darling, I told you to go... Take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home. You're right, you're right. He breathes carefully, not to start coughing again. We can come back next season, when it's warmer. We've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the trap. Let's do this. We're getting really carried away with this, aren't we? He takes a show of suppressing it. He makes a show of suppressing a sigh. Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this... He wants to see this tale through as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after this. Really, it's too much effort. It's too much, officer. He starts coughing again. What morale means is, we're grateful for your help. She nods to her husband. Here's a fresh batch of locusts. That is very loud. Fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We'll definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but... Wow, co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that. Alright, so just restock the bugs? I mean, that's mad easy. Considering I'm just going right by constantly? Okay. So, one task down, more tasks to go. Like I said, it feels good. I've got a lot of closing loose ends. The problem is, There's just a lot there. Let's see. Insulating phasmid. Armor pieces. Idiot Doom Spiral. Oh. Let's talk to the... Talk to this guy.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Hit him with your best verse. Nope. Fine. 92%. Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like, Amir's temperature is always 0. It's ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. Whoa, he leans in, eyes bright with attention. What else? It's a chalice held out to you in silent communion. Silent communion, that's good. He's transfixed by your words. Where graspingly you partake in a shifting identity, never your own. Dang, he grunts, unable to suppress his reaction. That's some great shit. You come up with that yourself? I'm just a vessel for the muse. Right, but really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I want to know if it's you. I think the words are mine, yeah. Love it. F and A. Looks like I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. Good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here? See, they don't really get it. It makes it all easier to bear, if the words are pretty. I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page. He gives you a thumbs up. You found some common ground with the man. Even impressed him. Next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. Alright. There's a task done. Let's see. So, anything else? Sync the signs with the Noid. You know what? I'm gonna save. We're going to go do something. Let's see. Are we? Yeah, so White Morning is still going. Nothing on the racist. Time to make my second big mistake. Talk to this guy again.
Right to work!
Nope, he ain't got anything. Alright. Yeah, most of these characters probably don't have anything particularly useful.
Hola, Wandering Man.
Nothing there. But that's okay, I don't care so much about Measurehead. Let's see, we're going over here. Why can't... Oh, because I have to go through the roofs. I'm curious if I could, like... Physically, there's no way I'm beating Measurehead. I should probably try talking to him again at some point. Okay. Yeah, that's right out. It's a weird office to be relatively accessible here. Oh man, I don't even have to pick up bottles anymore. I'm just rich by existing. Hell yeah. I mean, obviously, I need more encyclopedia actions to pop up for me to get money, but it's fine. Okay, let's go talk to... Not even really sure if he's the villain of this story. I mean, he's definitely not a good person. But I should talk to him anyway. Let's talk to this guy, too. Just characters that I haven't spoken with since the beginning of the game, more or less.
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with O'Lear here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like
Okay.
Lady
In the
Larisse said
future,
when
can
she
we
opened
keep
a
this
bar
greeting
place in the
shorter?
basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they rake it.
Okay. So, not much to talk to Leo about. Let's go talk to him. I'm really curious if there was a way that you can, like, straight up just... I'm not going to say ignore Evrart, but, like, I'm gonna say mildly overpower him dialogue-wise. This is not a fishing rod, is it? It's... Come Doesn't look like there's anything else I can do in here. Well, let's talk to Evrart.
Mr. Dubois, every worker?
A member of the board?
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart too. How can I help you today?
What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Convulsion crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a... He says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should try and at least try convincing it. Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten round to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. Adjust the button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone's just pals here. Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. His smile widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her just because you and I are good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Galmont? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why'd you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. He looks down and sighs. God knows how long he's got left. Called him a midget. Harry! He exclaims, indignant. I have little people in my organization. I could never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Who said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances? Vanished, Harry. The woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. The man frowns disapprovingly. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Wait, there was no mention of casserole from Joyce. Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole. Harry, Harry, Harry. He flicks his fingers. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew or a hairdryer. Or an iron. Point was, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now. Told Joyce that I met you. That's perfectly okay. Even if you told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. However, Joyce seems to think the union's lowballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He's suddenly very serious. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here, but everything's a casino for the rich types. His expression makes it clear this is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why have you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she'll find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about something else. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she's doing. But I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business. I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, he makes an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of this. All of it. My brother's picture. My singing swordfish clock. Looks around. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Evrart doesn't mind. It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. He adjusts his glasses. You've got a lot of spirit, cleaning up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's it then. Turns out the strikers were being served an alcoholic brew. I stopped this madness. I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it, he chuckles. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there, keeping things running, lets me focus on the big picture stuff. Don't even tell me what's going on. Alcoholic brew, stronger, stopped it, strike. I'm just gonna let you surprise me, Harry. Okay. I want to talk about the hanging. Oh, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez, he nods. I know everything that goes on around here. I would love to help. Like I'm helping you with your lost gun. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching's connected to this... connected to the strike. There's so much to talk about, honestly. It's been weighing on me heavily. I understand. You need to interview me. Say nothing. Harry, the big man says with a tragic look on his face. Had you asked me earlier, I could have used your help in dealing with a certain weasel. It would have really solidified our friendship. Sadly, the moment has passed and the weasel's back in its den. Nothing to do about it now, so get this, he points to you. I'm just going to give you the information because I like you, Harry. Probably more than that. Wait, who is the weasel? Time has passed, Harry. Were you not listening when I said that? Pay attention, please. Wiggles his chubby index finger at you. Now, do you want to hear about the hanging or not? Weasel thing sounds fun. Wish I could have done that. Yes, that would have been an interesting way to do things for us both, really. But you were too slow. His expression turns to compassion. But do not despair over this minor hiccup, Harry. I will tell you about the murder. Let's talk about the murder. Fantastic time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. His fist lands on the desk. Real police work's going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry. This is going to be good. I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys, Wild Pine, sent to scare us, another violent measure to stop of the top hats against us flat caps. I'm listening. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. You mean our victim? He nods gravely. A security contractor, can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in spirit of fellowship. And they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun. I am talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Samariza, you name it. Things they've done. Killing, burning villages, killing little children for Senorita Pineapple Company. Harry. Everything they did there, they've brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. I need to go somewhere. They just moved my container, he laughs. Wait, they moved the container? Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turns serious. The killers the company hired. I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent. Let's see. He shakes his head. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out in trees. By negotiator, you mean Joyce. Harry, he says, ignoring the lieutenant, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we'll push back. And when we do, he raises his finger, we push to kill. Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it? Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. Who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. Sounds a bit like organized crime. They're like you guys, he nods to the lieutenant. You and the lieutenant. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. Sounds like organized crime. So the idealist killed our victim. One day, Titus Hardy, leader of the peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burning the land. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. He chuckles. I gave him 2 weeks paid leave and told him to lay low to avoid retaliation. Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see a man who takes them in, he chuckles. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Uncertainty belies his boasting. In the end, though, he believes it, or at least he wants to believe. So he doesn't want to counter with a narrative that exonerates the Union, but why? How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people, he slams his fist at the desk. That's their MO, that's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. You believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor? You said it, hell. The fist slams the desk again. One of these guys looks big enough to take down the proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Name of the company is Cornell this time. I'd have been sediment before. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. I'm gonna... let's change the subject. You mentioned a lawyer girl. Oh, this is a bright one. He grins broadly. I paid for the law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. Oh, they're simply fine young men, all 7 of them, exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Starts laughing. Gotta love his initiative. Interesting. Who's the second in command? They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them, hell, interview them, but don't fight them. They're really just like you, men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. He's betting on them being useless to you. Evrart, I met the Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me? But of course, it's the least I could do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. You can go now and tell Titus about this, see what he has to say. Also, Harry hires 5 real. I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy boys. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you. I was just holding it out there. He pockets the bill. I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? No. Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway there. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with this strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez, and of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him. But it's like I can't completely trust you yet. Yet? Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left, he says, slowly shaking his head. I want to, but I just can't. Man of the left, so you'd have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats. What am I at this point? I'm a moralist and an ultra-liberal and a communist. Wow. I'm pretty even on these. Hella sorry cop. Little bit superstar. Good cop. Bad cop. 39. That's probably good. And honor is 4. My honor's kind of bad. This is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do. What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? He picks something from his teeth. I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you. What would this entail? Once again, I required nothing unethical or illegal for you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. Pulls out an envelope. And mail it to my accountant in La Delta. Nope. What are the signatures for? I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union's going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. He grins broadly. It'll be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. A nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground. He wants to get rid of the fishing village. You mean the fishing village? Yes, yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy little place doesn't have that union attitude. You're already pretty deep in this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez. What'll happen to the current occupants? They're just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and they'll be living like kings right next to a fancy new youth center, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown onto the street? Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless? Am I? The big man shakes his head in disbelief. Harry, these people. Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth center there. The value of their properties goes up. Kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug out from under them. Harry, I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbor. He means it. And what do you think of this? Depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful. He studies Evrart. But he thinks it's your call. As I said, it weighs on me heavily. He bows his head in shame, then looks up and smiles. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing. He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things. If I happen to be there, I can ask them. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, hands the open white envelope. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Let's see. Once you have the signatures, mail this to blah blah blah, then we can talk about your gun. Okay, so he doesn't have my gun. He has nothing. I don't think I'm gonna do his task. If, like, I'll have to look at stuff, but I can only imagine what he's doing is not good. What he probably wants to do is demolish things or who knows what, but I'm probably gonna leave that task unfinished. I just want to see what he said. And I want to see what they say. Anyway, time to go talk to a shipping container. Let's zoom out a bunch. Rhetoric impossible. Erratic yet thorough. Been in the world for 2 days. Many days. One more door. Rhetoric 5. What are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric? Because getting physical wasn't an option? Because what wasn't an option? The lieutenant looked startled. Using my body over my wits. Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.